Hello, Ruben. I am looking at your presentation here. Thanks. A nice cover. Really good. Great page size. Wonderful page size for a presentation. What is that? Let's see what that is. I'm really curious. Oh, shoot. I won't be able to do that. Oh, yeah, I will. Okay, you're at, looks like 9 point something, 10 by 5, 6, something like that. That's awesome. That's fantastic. I think that's a wonderful page size for a really nice shape for a presentation. Good job. Okay, so anyways, cover looks awesome. Nice, really good setup here in your typographic composition. Wonderful. Good job. Then you come over here, and one thing I'm noticing in your typography is your kerning is really super tight to the point where some of this we can't read. It looks like one word. Let me give you an example. Being used in. So that almost looks like one word, and it's really difficult to read. And then you have objects that's kerned really widely here, and then this is all tightly packed in there. So I would definitely check your kerning on your headlines, definitely. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of the presentation. Like I said, good job, nice image, good introduction. Save global warming is immediately to me confusing because aren't we trying to stop global warming? We're trying to stop global warming. Nobody wants global warming. It's a bad thing. So this is kind of pointing in the wrong direction, saying save global warming. It's very confusing, and I had to really think about it for a second. I was like, wait a second, we don't want to save global warming. We want to stop global warming. So that's really, I think, the immediate point of concern right there. I would definitely look into that. Objects being used in an event. This is great. But my only suggestion here is just to get into your materials a little bit more in depth. I mean, you're doing a good job mentioning, but I would really get into depth. I'm going to show you an example in just a second of a really effective presentation that really gets into materials. Don't forget, now half of this project is sustainability. I mean, don't forget the parameters of this project. You know, your client presumably hired you because you are going to design a sustainable project. So you have to prove it. You have to just really show your research and show your facts to your client before, you're going to get hired to design sustainably. Do you see what I'm saying? It's really super important, I think. When I show you the examples in a second, I think it'll make a lot of sense. And then from here, I think at this point right here, I think the introduction is great. But then at this point right here, I would lose the images in the background because it's really super distracting. Can't see your sketches. And show your sketches. Be proud of your sketches. Let's crop those and show them. Blow them up. Let's see them bigger. You could easily fit. Boy, you could fit these on one page and these on the other and on another. And don't be afraid to show your sketches. And you can actually go in and crop that out in Photoshop, save it as a separate sketch so you can present it a little bit larger. Okay, so you have your sketches, great. Then you have your collateral. That's good. Then there's your version. That's not called a plain version. That's called a digital version or a printer's spread or something. Call it something like that. But plain version, that's not a good title. See how much better the work looks on that background, white background? Then let's get rid of that image in the back there so we really start cleaning up this work. Then you have the digital, and again, look how much the background is distracting your look. What I would do is just use this whole thing for your whole image back here, and then just paste that type right up there. Booth. You see, this is so hard to read. It looks like Booth, dig it, all look. Al look. It's so weird. I wonder if that's just so strange. Definitely why. And it seems to be only happening in your H1s or your main headlines right there. Okay, so check that. Anyways, good job. This, we would definitely like to get a larger look at that. I mean, that's good right there. And what I would even do is go in here and label everything, point to that, tell us what it is, tell us what it's made from, and then that and that, so we know what all of these things are. Then the next page you can show a clean version of it. So we have labeled and then clean. Then your booth reasoning, that's great right there. Really good idea. Giveaway. But then what I would do is you have your booth. What I would do is I would go like this. You have your booth and your booth reasoning. I would do that for all of these. You have your collateral, then your collateral reasoning, your booth reasoning, and then your giveaway and your giveaway reasoning. So you have 2 pages on each, and one could really, really get into detail like that. I mentioned my concern about showing sustainability, proving sustainability, and really being able to go with your client confidently and saying, okay, here is my report on this sustainable project, and being fully confident as a designer that the client is going to say, wow, okay, this is great, I get it, and everything's great. But can we say that about your presentation? I don't know, because I'm not seeing any research. You're saying sustainable, okay, but you're not proving it. Let me show you what I mean. Here's an example. Basically, it's just I'm using this example to show to students because this is a particularly successful example. And basically, I'm not showing this to compare anybody's work. I'm just saying, a lot of times it's really good to see what you're up against in the same project. So, I mean, outside of what's going on in a class that we've been looking at for 6 weeks. So let's take a look at this. And this student has given me permission to share this piece. So here we start with the cover page, and it's got its wonderful introduction to the logo. Then we move into the creative brief, where it gets into very, very good detail using this wonderfully designed bullet with the leaf kind of system here, which is really, really creating some fantastic hierarchy. Then let's take a look, moving along into the creative brief, into ideas and sketches, all of which are being described. So the sketches are all being described. Now, you're telling what they are, but you're not really describing them. Here, there's written descriptions on all of the sketches. Look at this, all labeled. The sketch is all completely labeled. Then here's more ideas. And the written backup to this all points to research, and I'll get to that in 1 second. But if you were to hand this report to a client, I think the client would be like, wow, this is really, really complete, and I get it, and I understand everything, especially look where we come here. Trade show booth design, digital presentation. Awesome. Then we get to trade show booth materials. We've got 2 full pages of materials, sustainable, pointing to research. I mean, let me just give you an example. The no pollutants are used in the production at any stage of the manufacturing process, and because all scraps are recycled in the production process, no materials are wasted. Only a small amount of water is used in the binding formula, and that organic pigments are environmentally friendly. Okay, so what's the relevance of that? It all points to research, and it's all backed up with good, solid research. So as a client, you can look at this and say, wow, and if you want, you can even go check the research. And that is a complete report. Did you see what I'm saying, Ruben? Now, yours is there, but it's just not ready to hand to the client. And I think that once you get into this really, really very descriptive introduction to the materials, describing why you're using them, why they're sustainable, and why they're the most responsible choice for your project. Okay, and that's where I think you need to be for your final presentation next week. Okay, so anyways, good job. I mean, I think you did great. So thank you so much for putting this in presentation format. One thing I can recommend also in presentation is take your H1s. I'm calling it H1s because I'm not sure if this is going to be a digital piece or a print piece, but either take your headlines or your H1s and make sure they're consistent. As we can see, not only did I mention the inconsistencies in the kerning, but take a look at the size. This one changes size all of a sudden. Those should be, pick a size and stick with it and see where it starts. Let me show you where it starts. Hey, where did I go? Okay, where did that go? Okay, collateral. See, I'm going to put my cursor right here where collateral starts, up in the upper left-hand corner, right there. And now watch what happens when I move the page down. Look, it kind of jumps up a little bit, right? Look at that. That's kind of weird. So that should all be super consistent. All right. Anyway, and don't forget your citations page, please. Really super important. All of these images that you're using and everything all of the stuff that you're saying has to be backed up with research, has to show to citation page. So, all right. Good job. Looking forward to seeing where you're taking this as a final presentation. Loving what I'm seeing so far. Very good work. Thank you.